Yeah. What was it like to, jumping to Dark Wolf for a second? What was it like to collaborate with someone on a story? You mentioned it before, right? Like as you read the Terminal List and as you watch the first season of the Terminal List, it feels kind of cut and dry to the reader that, hey, Ben made these decisions. I don't like those decisions. James didn't like those decisions. It feels kind of cut and dry, but we know he operates in this clandestine world that isn't. And then now he says, hey, what if we grade up a little bit and tell this story? What was it like for you to collaborate with him and David and the others to say, all right, let's open this up and explore why he got here?
Yeah, no, it was fantastic, but that's something that I wish I'd done better in the book is
Mm.
bring some humanity to Ben's character, especially at the end when you get a little bit of the why. The book was That's one thing I would definitely go back and change because in the writer's room, the how Ben's character ends up was way better. And then when we got closer to that filming that scene, we dove in again because of everything we learned throughout that season and Chris's and Taylor's relationship on screen as Ben and Reese. It all played into how that final scene in the Terminal List turned out. We were making edits on that up until the last second, and then Taylor brings what he brings to it, which is just so much empathy and humanity. And I just wish I'd had one of those lines, one of those why lines of that Taylor brings to it, and that we brought to it in the writers' room of why he would do this and have these teammates die with their boots on rather than in a hospital bed in excruciatingly pain deaths from these tumors. That would give a whole would have just given a little bit more depth to that character in the book that wasn't there. So once again, yeah, learning. Always learning, always improving, always trying to evolve. This book's hopefully better than the last one, and the next one that I'm working on right now will be better than this one. That's always the goal. Same thing with the shows. But yeah, when Chris called and said, "Hey, I think we should do a Ben spinoff, an origin story," of course the answer is yes, let's do it. And then Taylor was all in, and so we all got together. Me, Dave DiGilio, Jared Shaw, and Max Adams got together and started putting together this outline for that we've then pitched to Amazon. And that was in October, end of October of 2022. So right after the show came out, just a couple months. So that part was fast. Then the deal making starts. That took us into January, and then writer's room starts up and you have to interview new writers. You have some that you hold on to, others that go off to other projects, and then kicked off that writer's room. And then that's when the writer's strike happened. And that took 7 months. And then there was an actor strike on the end of that. And so really, even though that was like 8 months, that really put us behind by a year just of how things compounded. So really, Dark Wolf should have come out without the writer's strike, would have come out last summer. And True Believer that we're finishing up filming now should have come out this summer, but the writer's strike put us behind by a full year.
Yeah, like you said, life happens. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? But like these things, you have to adapt to your new operating environment, right?
What can you do? Got to roll with it.